You are exhausted, carrying the world. But when someone asks if you're okay, you just smile and say, "I am completely fine." It is not because you are strong or simply being polite. Your brain has actually triggered an evolutionary survival glitch to numb an absolute overload of emotional pain, a mechanical failsafe designed to prevent total structural collapse. This is the biology of suffering in silence. It is not a personality trait or a choice. It is a complex chain of mechanical and biochemical events. Your internal battery is completely empty, yet society demands you keep moving. So your nervous system reroutes power away from feeling anything at all. To protect the core, it sacrifices your ability to connect. This disconnection happens right here, between your prefrontal cortex and your amygdala. The logic center loses control, leaving the fear center dominating your entire physiological state. You are not just tired, you are offline. Your body perceives the modern world as an active, lethal threat. In applied social neuroscience, we call this the dorsal vagal shutdown, a state of cellular lockdown. It is a metabolic hibernation, freezing you to preserve your life. The cell danger response traps you. You become a prisoner inside a body that is trying to survive. You are functional on the outside, but dying on the inside. And the most terrifying part? Your brain thinks this is exactly how it is supposed to work. Society tells you that pushing through the pain is a virtue, a badge of honor, ultimate resilience. But from a neurobiological perspective, this relentless grind is not a sign of a strong mind. It is a deadly miscalculation of your evolutionary programming. To understand the biology of hiding your suffering, we have to go back to the ancestral savanna. For early humans, survival depended entirely on the social tribe. Showing severe weakness, crying, or collapsing carried two massive evolutionary risks. First, you instantly attract apex predators. Second, the tribe might permanently abandon you. You become a dangerous liability to their collective survival. Therefore, the human brain evolved a brilliant but utterly exhausting coping strategy. It is called social camouflaging. You force a smile and forcefully project absolute vitality to maintain your rank. This behavior is deeply rooted in evolutionary signaling theory and the handicap principle. Fake it, or face total exile. Those who could mask their pain simply lived longer to reproduce. But here is the devastating catch. That ancient system was designed for acute physical threats that ended quickly. You either outran the hungry tiger, or you were instantly eaten. Today, modern society places us under chronic, entirely inescapable psychosocial pressure. Looming deadlines, building a digital brand, market volatility, and endless social expectations trap you in a cage. Your ancient nervous system literally cannot tell the difference between these threats. An unread email or a failing business project triggers the exact same biological panic as a physical predator. The danger alarm never turns off. This relentless cycle is what scientists call the evolutionary mismatch theory. You are running from a digital tiger that never stops hunting. And when the brain realizes it cannot outrun the modern world, it initiates the ultimate biological shutdown. When the modern world becomes an inescapable predator, your biology panics. Your sympathetic nervous system maxes out. It floods your brain with a highly toxic cocktail of stress hormones. Norepinephrine and dopamine overwhelm the system, but a biological engine cannot run at maximum RPM forever. Eventually, the internal architecture begins to physically break down. Welcome to the prefrontal cortex, the logical CEO of your brain that regulates emotion and keeps you grounded. Under chronic stress, the neurons here literally shrink and atrophy. The logical control center loses its structural integrity. Meanwhile, the amygdala, your brain's fear and threat detection center, does the exact opposite. It hypertrophies. It physically grows larger. This creates a terrifying structural asymmetry. A massive, hyperactive fear center, managed by a shrinking, exhausted CEO. The brain loses its ability to regulate negative emotions. This triggers an all or none threshold. You feel absolutely nothing toward massive daily pressures, but you will violently explode over a single dropped pen. To prevent this hyperactive fear center from causing fatal neurotoxicity, the body pulls the emergency brake. This is governed by the polyvagal theory. Your nervous system activates its most ancient, primitive pathway, the unmyelinated dorsal vagal nerve. This drops you into a profound state of biological freezing. Your heart rate heavily slows down, digestion stops, blood flow leaves the limbs. You enter a state of severe emotional numbing. You're not calm. You are biologically paralyzed. This creates autonomic inflexibility. Your nervous system is rigidly trapped in a hypometabolic lockdown. And this is exactly why you say, "I am fine." You physically cannot speak the truth of your own absolute exhaustion. Under severe stress, your right hemisphere, the center for intense emotion and non-verbal trauma, completely overloads and erupts. Simultaneously, the left hemisphere, the center for logic and language, shuts down. Metabolic activity is literally drained away from your linguistic processing. This specific neural region is Broca's area. It translates your subjective internal pain into structured spoken words. During profound overwhelm, Broca's area is completely physically knocked offline. Trauma researchers call this speechless terror. You feel the crushing pain, but the biological framework to express it is gone. It is functionally identical to a patient suffering an ischemic stroke.
Are you okay?
So, what happens when someone asks if you are okay? Your brain is forced to take a massive biological detour. It bypasses language entirely, reaching into your basal ganglia to trigger a pre-recorded procedural memory script. Saying "I'm fine" is not a lie. It is a reflex. But to truly understand this exhaustion, we must look at your cells. Mitochondria are not just powerhouses. They are highly sensitive environmental sensors, scanning for psychological and physical threats. When the chronic stress of your life becomes too much, they trigger the cell danger response. Your cells literally stop producing energy and build armored walls instead. This state is called siege metabolism, a microscopic state of war. To survive the siege, your body forcefully unplugs power from higher order functions like complex thinking and social connection. That heavy, crushing brain fog you feel every single day, it is not a flaw. It is your cells intentionally shutting your mind down so your body survives. According to social safety theory, your immune system views emotional isolation as a physical, infectious pathogen. It floods your body with glowing pro-inflammatory cytokines, triggering sickness. This is the devastating reality. Behind high-functioning, smiling depression, you force yourself to keep working, while your immune system actively prepares for severe physical trauma. This is exactly why standard logic-based talk therapy often fails you. You cannot logic your way out. Your prefrontal cortex and Broca's area are literally offline. Top-down cognitive processing is locked. To reboot the machine, you must use bottom-up regulation, targeting the brainstem and the autonomic nervous system. You have to send physical signals of absolute safety. Only physical safety signals can convince your mitochondria to exit the cell danger response lockdown phase. Slowly, the dorsal vagal freeze begins to carefully thaw out. The artificial mask shatters, and your nervous system finally steps out of chronic survival mode. Your silence is not a sign of weakness or a flaw. It is the confession of a brilliant biological system that has reached the absolute limit of endurance.